Our next speaker is Makala Hanson.
Try to hold it real close.
You'd have thought holding the mic would have occurred to me as a disabled person before this moment right now, but did not. You'll have to forgive me from reading directly from my phone. They told us to stick to 3 minutes, so sticking directly to my notes is the best way for me to make that happen. I've been asked to speak about Medicaid as an adult who does not qualify for disability because of when I became disabled. I was too old to go into some programs and too young to go into others, so I'm an adult, and because of the way Minnesota runs Medicaid, I'm able to be part of Medicaid that they kind of Minnesota allocates extra money to so that people like me who would normally fall through the cracks do not. I'm here to talk about what's at stake for me personally and the challenges that already exist in Medicaid that are only going to get worse. So if at some point during my speaking you think, she's complaining a lot about this program that she really wants to keep, that's why. In 2015, I was diagnosed with something called ankylosing spondylitis, or AS as I'll continue to refer to it. AS is a type of inflammatory arthritis that causes widespread joint and ligament inflammation. In severe cases like mine, the vertebrae in your spine, in response to the severe inflammation, the inflammation causes bone growth, and the vertebrae in your spine begin to fuse together, as well as different bones in your pelvis. In the worst cases of AS, inflammation causes tears in your aorta, often before they are noticed. Most people who experience this AS complication will die before they get anywhere near a hospital. AS is incredibly painful. When my AS is treated and my pain is as managed as it can be, I'm able to go about my life as a homeschooling mom of 3 from my power chair. I'm very grateful to be able to get Medicaid. It's made it possible for me to access the expensive medication that keeps AS from attacking my spine, joints, and aorta unchecked. However, Medicaid limits the amount of this medication that it will cover per month. An acquaintance of mine with similar disease progression but private insurance is still able to walk and even hike. Their insurance pays for them to have doses 3 times per week, whereas mine allows only 2 per month. If I was able to take this medication as often as my doctors recommend it, my life and pain levels would be markedly different, and I would very likely be sitting in a regular chair, like everyone else next to me. In 2016, my husband and I learned of a surgery that would have helped me retain my ability to walk, albeit with a cane. Medicaid denied the surgery. They called it experimental, based on a study from 1995. I tried in vain to send them all of the updated studies our surgical team provided to me, and they claimed that since it was an experimental surgery, I was not entitled to a peer-to-peer review where a doctor within the insurance company listens to my surgical team explain why this particular surgery was critical. They did this 6 times before we gave up. The surgery would have cost $100,000. Hold on to that dollar. It's going to matter a lot, that dollar figure. It's going to matter a lot in a moment. When I was initially diagnosed, I needed a cane to get around, then crutches as the disease progressed, then a manual wheelchair, and in 2019, as my shoulders began to become affected, my medical team and I moved forward with the process of getting a power wheelchair. The process took almost 2 years. I lost count of how many appointments we had to go to with occupational and physical therapy, family medicine, and I think my DME, my durable medical equipment supplier, might still be on my speed dial. In spring of 2022, I would finally receive my chair and some long-awaited independence. My first power chair was $80,000. It is unthinkable that they would have denied a surgery that would have helped avoid my need for a new wheelchair every 5 years. Humanity aside, the math was even in my favor. Insurance companies like Medicaid, and they're really none of them are fantastic, will deny anything they can, hoping you will no longer be part of their program before they have to clean up the mess they made from their previous denial. With the budget cuts Medicaid will face, this stands to only become much, much worse. I in no way want to come across as ungrateful or overtly critical. I want to illustrate how difficult the system already is to navigate and how much more difficult it will become if this budget bill passes. While I had hoped to spend 2025 advocating to improve Minnesota Medicaid for all of the Minnesotans who are able to take advantage of its benefits, I'm still incredibly grateful for it. Having access to my AS medication alleviates a great deal of my pain as well as helping to protect my heart. My kids really wanted to be here tonight to help cheer on their mom. Our oldest teenager even went with the tactic of trying to annoy mom into agreeing to let them attend tonight. But instead they're at home, because I wanted to be very candid. Because the truth about what could happen to me if I lose Medicaid is something that we want to keep from them. A couple of weeks ago, I approached my medical team to find out what was actually at stake here if I can no longer take the medication that I need. And it's quite grim. The likelihood of having the fatal cardiac complications I mentioned a couple of minutes ago stands to increase up to 30%. Losing Medicaid could truly cost me my life. Please consider doing whatever you can and working with this group to do whatever we can to help alleviate these cuts. I'm not the only Minnesotan who has this much to lose. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Makala. And now, Pastor Joel Erickson.